Well, I make that 6 p.m. here in the UK, people. Welcome to my show, everyone. It is Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, and you know it by now. 6 p.m. here in the UK on the 11th of June 2020. I am back with my regular Thursday show, and as always, have a strong Bitcoin hand. Gonna need it when we look at the charts in a minute. Strong hand. Zoom out. Think 2024 halving, not what's going on day to day in 2020. Please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, bash that bell button so that you get notified when I go live. Share this out on Twitter. I've reached out to YouTube again, and I'm not a negative person, but I just don't think I'm going to get my old channel back. So I need to promote this one. And if this becomes the main channel, then so be it. It is what it is. I can't change it. So anything you guys can do to help me, brilliant. Adam Meister's just posted something up, which I retweeted, and he's had YouTube reach out to him. So maybe he'll get his channel back. Who knows? I added in there when I tweeted them that mine's gone down too, but I haven't heard anything. So welcome to the UK Bitcoiner channel. For the time being. Just looking over in the chat right now, Rocky has pounded, but he said he's had to go and he might not make it back for the first half of the show. So Rocky was in the house earlier. Elaine, Mrs. UK is in. My lovely daughter Buffy is in. I see Zaza there. Casso, welcome to you. Andy BTC, I saw earlier. I guess you're still around. Dan. It is great to have you back with us, my friend. I've been really worried about you because I haven't seen or heard of you. I know you've been unwell. I've also sent an email to the group regarding the 21 Million Club's next meeting, Dan. And both of the emails I sent to you bounced back saying you couldn't accept mine because your email inbox was seeing mine as some kind of spam. So reach out to me on a DM or something, Dan. Let me know you're okay. I don't know why the emails aren't getting to you, but just so you know, the people that are in the house, the next 21 Million Club meetup, online Zoom meetup, is going to be on the 20th of this month at 9 p.m. in the evening UK time. So reach out to me, Dan, please. So great to have you all with us. You can see the disclaimer down there. If you are watching this in the future, you're not going to get any financial advice here, people. It is just me, Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, which I still am, even though I'm using UK Bitcoiner, just sounding off about his passion for Bitcoin. So let's get the disclaimer out of the way. Let's pop the websites up. I've just had somebody connected with me through my Facebook Bitcoin page. And he said, look, obviously something's wrong with your channel because you were referring to other videos that are not there. So I told him about going to ukbitcoinmaster.com, which is currently pointed at my BitChute channel, which has got every video I've ever done there. So if you're watching this in the future on catch up, ukbitcoinmaster.com is pointing there right now. As this builds, I'll repoint it here. If you want to check out the video, the live interviews I've done to date, bitcoininterviews.com. I am steadily uploading some of my other ones from the other channel that I took recordings of to this channel. So going forward, there was one last night that I put out there, my interview with the great Hass McCook. I've got another one coming up soon. BTC Ben is up there, Adam Meister's up there, Rocky Palumbo's up there, and all the others I did will eventually come up on this channel. So do look out for them. Even if you don't want to watch them again, do go over and like and share. I would really appreciate it. And then finally, for anybody who wants to drop a lightning tip, and you don't have to, by the way, the best thing you can ever do for this channel is tweet it out and just get eyeballs on it. But tippin.me/@UKBitcoinMaster. Hey, you can leave even 5 Satoshis if you want, which is a fraction of a penny. But you don't need to drop any tips. It's just there if anybody wants to drop a tip. So that is it. Let's get on with the show. And for all of you weak handers out there, you fiat freaks out there, if we get over to the desktop, you will see that the Bitcoin price is tumbling right now. Am I bothered? No, because I don't zoom in on day to day or week to week or even month to month. I zoom in every 1 to 4 years. And that is where you need to put your focus. Bitcoin is not a get-rich-quick scheme. What it is an asset that is gathering momentum, and every 4 years there's a halving, which then makes it even more scarce, which drives price up. We've got institutions looking at this. But if you're a weak hander and we look here, you would go, oh my Lord, what's going on? Here's the thing. What positive can you take from this, people? You're getting Bitcoin on sale. This is an ideal time to buy some Bitcoin on sale, cheap prices, get some Satoshis. Okay. Yes, it may go down, but if we zoom out and we look at this chart, you see that those red candles I've just shown you are just a drop in the ocean in the overall scheme of things. And this is what you should always do. Zoom out. And as you can see right over here on the right hand side, you know, we're doing okay. It could go right down here and it wouldn't bother me. You know, yeah, would I? Everyone's got this mental thing going on in their head about, oh God, is it going to crash? No, it's not going to crash. You know, it's such a small asset class, it can be manipulated. I have no doubt that all of a sudden, when we go back here and we see these red candles, all of a sudden somebody's manipulating this. We'll see a massive green candle upwards. And if we don't, then you keep mopping up more Satoshis whilst they're on sale. That's what a 20%er strong hand Bitcoiner does. They don't freak out about it. Okay, I'm showing it to try and help those of you that are maybe new to the channel now or watching this in the future and trying to get your head round the volatility that is Bitcoin, to know that all this is cyclical. Bitcoin will do what it does and it'll keep doing it and it will always come back again. So this does not freak me at all. Chunkadunk, welcome to the channel, my man. I hope you didn't mind the conversation we had the other day. Great to have you with us. Tweet this out, people. Yeah, brilliant. Right, so I found some show notes to have a look at. Okay, now, all the big content creators are raving about this. The German stock exchange will list a Bitcoin ETP. Now, it's not quite an ETF, is it? But as it says here, London-based ETC Group will list the first crypto exchange traded product on Germany's etc. digital stock exchange this month. Traders in the UK, Italy and Austria will also be able to deal in shares of the new product. Now, why is this important? Because Germany has got the largest economy in Europe, largest stock exchange in Europe. It's influential, okay? To have Bitcoin listed in some form on an exchange is monstrous, okay? It can only be good for Bitcoin down the road. Satoshi, welcome to you, my friend. Great to have you with us as well. I don't think I've missed anybody out there, but great to have you with us. According to ETF Stream, the ETC Group announced on June the 9th, which was a couple of days ago, that Bitcoin exchange traded crypto BTCE, an exchange traded product, will launch on Deutsche Börse Extra after it receives approval from German financial regulators. This is about you finding the article, people, and reading it yourself. For me, this is massively bullish for Bitcoin down the road. You know, we're going to get to a point where when certain institutions pile in or when certain banks or stock exchanges say, let's do this, you're going to get the run behind it, because everybody's going to start to fear that they're missing out. That's called FOMO. When they FOMO in, and this might just be the start of it, think about 2016's halving and what happened in 2017 when they were FOMOing in like the clappers. Okay, now you need to understand what's happening when we go on this bull run, because if you think Bitcoin going from $1,000 and pulling back to, say, 200, or Bitcoin going from 10k and then pulling back to 3k as it did through the pandemic is stressful on the old ticker, imagine what will happen when Bitcoin hits 100 grand and then pulls back to 30 grand. If you can deal with that emotionally, now you've got that strong Bitcoin hand. That's really important. Imagine when Bitcoin's $1 million and it pulls back to $300,000. You see what I mean? So these early stages, and we are so early in all of this, you got to build that strong hand. But this article is really bullish for Bitcoin's future, I think. And just to carry on that theme, the Bitcoin Millionaires Club is growing again. Now, it says, while a number of addresses holding more than 100 Bitcoin is down since March, it's starting to pick up again. So let's see what they're saying, if I can get on my right screen here. I think I highlighted something. There we go. The number of Bitcoin addresses holding more than 100 Bitcoin has increased by 43 in the last 5 days, breaking above 15,950. At current values, 100 Bitcoin is worth 970,000, not far shy of $1 million. At current I've just read that, meaning that anyone holding slightly more than this amount is a Bitcoin millionaire. For context, this number doesn't necessarily mean that there are just shy of 16 Bitcoin millionaires. It's a measure of how many Bitcoin wallets, and this is really important, hold a minimum of this amount. Many of the wallets are likely to be owned by exchanges which pool their funds together. So therefore, if it's talking of 16,000 wallets with over 100 Bitcoin in, yeah, and many of them could be exchanges, it means you are in such a unique position if you aim and work towards building one full Bitcoin. Bitcoin Meister always says it, proud Zionist Jew, as he's named now. He says, aim for one Bitcoin. You know, when you hit that milestone, look at your finances and say, can I aim for 2, 5, 10, or whatever your strategy is? I've got mine. I know what our strategy is. What is your strategy? Because at the moment, you've got half a chance of dollar cost averaging and getting close to that one Bitcoin at around 10k. But imagine trying to get one full Bitcoin when it's 100k. Now you start to think, I'm never going to be able to do that. And when we go on this next bull run, as we will, except no one can predict when, all of a sudden, people won't be talking of buying Bitcoin. They'll be talking of buying Satoshis, which is a fraction of a Bitcoin. Does that make sense? So at the moment, we are still in the realms of talking of owning one Bitcoin. That's going to be gone soon, and it will be gone forever, and it will never, ever, 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 ever come back. So I'm talking to those of you that are not getting this yet. Maybe you're new, maybe you're not fully grasping it, maybe you're watching this in the future. You can still build. What you have to do is not spend what you can't afford to lose, not spend the money for the rent and your food, but look at what you're spending on stuff you don't need and think to yourself, is that stuff I don't need giving me a short-term fix right now, or is it going to give me value down the road in 5 or 10 years from now, like Bitcoin could? You got to get there, people, because in terms of what you're looking at here, you could be a Bitcoin millionaire with 1 Bitcoin for sure. I'm not going to say will, because that's almost financial advice, but there's every possibility that somebody that owns 1 full Bitcoin, even half a Bitcoin, actually even a third of a Bitcoin, have really got potential to be a Bitcoin millionaire in the future. Now, your time preference could be very different to mine if you're half my age or 20 years younger than me, which means you can save for longer. Okay, we've all got a different time frame, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. You've got to believe it's possible, and you've got to commit to it if you decide that's what you want to do. Gold chart shows why Bitcoin is the fastest horse in the race against inflation. I think the OGs of my channel, or the Bitcoin OGs, or the ones that have been around 2, 3, 4 years, or regulars on the show, we all know this. So I guess I'm preaching to the converted here. But it's in hope that people are going to find this channel, and noobs are going to pile in looking to understand and get educated about Bitcoin. And what I don't want to do, excuse me, I don't want to frighten them off with technical analysis and fancy charts and blow their mind. I just want them to understand that there is everything going for this new asset class. And I saw this one, and I don't know, yeah, I did highlight something. Selecting the ideal hedge against the great monetary inflation. This is talking again, referring to Paul Tudor Jones, and it's really interesting. Earlier today, I was watching an episode of, I love the TV series, the box set Billions. Okay, it gets me in a billionaire's mindset to see how bullish they are about money, success, and everything else. And I was just watching that, and all of a sudden, one of the guys in it, he actually talked about how he looks up to Paul Tudor Jones. Now, it's really interesting, because had I not got into Bitcoin, I would have never known who this dude is. Not in a million years. But just by hearing this name, knowing he's a billionaire, you know, and he's got a lot of influence, and he's well known throughout the US. And then I go and hear it on Billions of all places. I start getting all these weird tingles going up and down my spine. So I find it really exciting in this rabbit hole. It is new. It is vibrant. It is exciting. I'm so excited that I'm part of it. I'm so excited that I'm living through it. This change, this wealth redistribution. It's just the most amazing time to be alive. So he's on it again. Shortly after Bitcoin's halving, just as the Federal Reserve spent its money, sent its money printer into high gear, news circulated that Billions hedge fund manager Paul Tudor Jones has been buying up Bitcoin as a hedge against coming inflation. Now, if I scroll down, where is it he said what he said? Yeah, the billionaire investor is quoted as saying, "The great monetary inflation is upon us." We know that. And that the best profit maximizing strategy is to own the fastest horse. And if I'm forced to forecast, I didn't highlight, my bet is it will be Bitcoin. He didn't say gold. He didn't say a race between Bitcoin and gold. In fact, if you pick up the notes afterwards and look down, there's graphs here and all sorts, which they're well worth looking at. In fact, it says here, a $1 investment in Bitcoin and gold compared 10 years later. If you want to read it, Willie Woo's talking about something there. But it says here, Bitcoin, 12.8 million, luxury yacht. Gold, $1.66, a Snickers bar. You know, read the article. That's the whole idea. If you're looking for inspiration and belief that you are in the right place at the right time, don't just listen to what I've got to say here. Go into the notes afterwards and find the article and read it for yourself. Because I have people messaging me privately saying, I hadn't seen these articles, and if you hadn't have shared them on your show, I certainly don't go through the publications looking for them. So by you highlighting snippets of them on your show, I can go and find them and read them and learn more. And that was none other than the great Rocky Palumbo. So if Rocky Palumbo is saying things to me like that and then finding these articles and reading them, so should you be doing that too, people. What else did I find? If my computer will load. There we go. Despite Bitcoin's sell-off, it's generated superior returns compared to traditional assets during the pandemic. I don't know if I highlighted anything. No, just look at the graph. The green line is gold. Okay. Equities, look at them. We're in a bad way, but look at Bitcoin. Yes, it's volatile, but here's the thing. At some point, this thing is going to shoot off upwards again. So there you go again. Just another example of, even though the pandemic tanked Bitcoin's price to start with, it is the best asset that's rebounded and is still looking massively strong. And if you're new, you've got to ask yourself why. Look into the 7 network effects of Bitcoin. Scarcity. They can't double or treble its quantity. There's only ever going to be 21 million. Ever. We know that 2 or 3 million of them are lost forever. When people threw their computers away or lost their keys, when Bitcoin, wasn't even worth a cent and they placed no value in it. So therefore, there might be 21 million out there, people, but there's going to be 18 or 19 million actual coins in existence. And I'm encouraging you again, without financial advice, aim for 1 Bitcoin. Start dollar cost averaging in, because we are really in a unique situation that I think will speed up Bitcoin's next bull run because of the pandemic that's leading to all the rioting that's going on around the world, that's leading to the inflation that's coming, people losing their jobs, businesses are going to collapse. And here's a really interesting thing, and I don't understand a great deal about this, but here's what I do understand. In the crash of 2008, stocks went through the roof. When they were pumping money in, and stocks just went up mental, so that those bankers and all those rich heads could actually get their money out of stocks to safety and protect their wealth before the big crash came and all the retail investors that FOMO'd in got totally wrecked. And it's happening again. It is going to happen again, and it's going to be worse, in my opinion. Okay? Because those big banking cartels, they know how to manipulate markets so that the stock market looks healthy, so that retail investors FOMO in, they pile in with all their money. Then the big bankers and the big cartels get their wealth out and secure most of it. And then the whole deck of cards comes smashing down, and the retail investor gets wrecked, loses their homes, loses their business. Inflation comes, depression potentially comes. People, you need to get your head around this stuff, because you can't bury your head in the sand if you want to come through this financial crash, which I really think is coming. Something lighthearted, Bitcoin wallet provider offers access to Amazon, Spotify and HBO. Just another indicator of all of this moving in the right direction. Tap Network has partnered with multi-asset crypto wallet provider Uphold. Wallet users now have access to over 250,000 named brand merchants and can spend a variety of currencies, including crypto, money obviously, and precious metals, on buying stuff. Merchants accepting things like Bitcoin. This is a precursor to the future, my friends. It is happening, but it is happening it's quick in terms of tech, but it's happening so slow and so steadily that the masses, The 80%ers, as Bitcoin Meister calls them, I call them the 95%ers, they just don't see it going on. They're going about their day-to-day, they're working their jobs, they're getting their big screen TVs and their takeaways at the weekend and their Netflix accounts, and they're just thinking that nothing's going to change. Well, how are they going to think when all of a sudden tens of thousands and millions of people lose their jobs, and it could be you? And then what happens to paying your bills and everything else? You need to have a hedge in Bitcoin. This is all moving exactly as Satoshi Nakamoto expected it would. Now, this one, to finish off the first part of the show, it says Bitcoin is sending mixed signals, 10k or not. Well, we know from the start of the show that it's crashing back closer to just over 9k. But do you know what? Bitcoin isn't sending mixed signals. TA experts, technical analysis experts, analysts, they want to put articles up like this to scare people. What you gotta do, as I've said before, people, is you gotta zoom out. Look at the high of 2017 there at 20k. When this thing goes off on a run again, that will make 20k look small. They're predicting it could hit 20k by the end of this year, 28k. Who cares? Let's see what happens by the end of 2021, early 2022, and then tell me if these, analysts, these predictors coming out with stuff like, is it sending us mixed signals, really know their stuff. Because, here's what I've learned in 3 years in Bitcoin. JC, welcome. I've only just seen that tweet or that message there, so I don't know whether you've been in the show a while, but it is great, as always, to have you with us there, my friend. The point is, Bitcoin is volatile because it's new, okay? But it doesn't mean it isn't going in the right direction, and you need what I refer to as some skin in the game. Get in and get some Bitcoin. Okay, quick interlude. Shout out for Dan, who's in the chat at justlearnbitcoin.com. Very briefly, you want to check them out if you're new and you want to understand what wallets are, how to set them up, how to back them up. Obviously, they'll give you a consultation, but there's a fee involved, of course. They've got everything over there. If you want to have a vanity address, if you want to learn about mining, it's all over there. You can get bracelets like this one from btcbracelets.com. I always wear mine. I think it's awesome. So check them out. They've got a great apparel store as well with all the merch you could ever want. Finally, if you go back inside the homepage, you can scroll down. You will find this black link that I'd like you to click that will take you here, where you can make a small donation to the Pastor Phil cause. Now, the Pastor Phil cause, for those new to the channel or watching in the future, is a group of us committed to helping this lovely guy who was scammed out of 14.2 Bitcoin to get it back. Some of it, all of it would be great, but, just spend a few minutes and go over to the site, read the family story that you can do. There you go, in one scroll up and down. It's a quick 2-minute read and well worth reading as to how he got scammed. If you then go over to this tab, the wallet tab, you can see, and I've been doing this all wrong, and I want to make apology to you, Phil. I thought you lost your Bitcoin a year ago, but if we scroll up and we look at this last transaction there, where it all went from, as you can see here, you can't see my cursor, but in the second block, the top one in red, it says 14.2 Bitcoin, balance 0, and that was on the 29th of the 7th 2018. So we're coming up to 2 years since this transaction ID you're looking at scammed this lovely man out of 14.2 Bitcoin. Now, as that's worth today, let's call it 10 to make it easy, 140,000 gone. But let's say it 10x's, and that becomes 1.4 million. Okay, is that right? No, that 10x 10, yeah, 1.4 million. And let's say it 10x's in 4 years' time as well. And then 10x is 4 years after that. That is the value that this man has lost through some dirty, filthy scammer who redirected him when doing a firmware update on his Trezor to their site, and they stole his Bitcoin. So I'm encouraging all of you just to scroll down on any of these pages, click the link, go over to Tallycoin and make a tiny donation to this man, please. $10, $5, anything you can afford, make that donation, because I've been banging Phil's cause since August last year, so about 10 months. And in 10 months, we've got 27 donations. Don't get me wrong, Phil is grateful for every single donation, but 27 donations in close to a year. Can I encourage you all to retweet this out, get other people aware of this? Maybe a whale will see it and we can help Phil on his way to 1 Bitcoin. That'll be good. And then what more we can do for, and he's a lovely guy. My lovely wife Elaine and Phil have become great friends. They talk most days on Skype. So, you know, he really is a lovely, lovely man. Unlike many of the people that are out there that are getting Bitcoin thrown at them. Okay, interlude over, back to the show. I found a few tweets worth sharing with you all. If you want my attention, I can see the chat going mad, guys, but UK Bitcoiner first. It will light it up in orange. And I got to apologise to Rocky Palumbo because he tried to get my attention on Monday twice. And twice I didn't see it. In fact, I did see it and I thought I'd already responded to it. So, Rocky, sorry for that, my friend. If it is in orange, I will look over and check. Dennis Parker, I use his tweets a lot. Searching for the next Bitcoin is as useless as searching for the next internet. Don't waste your precious time. You've heard us say this time and time again. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. There is not gonna be another Bitcoin. Now, for those of you new to the channel or thinking to yourself, well, you're gonna say that, just think about this. Bitcoin's 11 years old. It has had over 350 obituaries said about it on the mainstream MSM rubbish. Bitcoin's dead, Bitcoin's dead, and it's always bounced back. It's got the most amount of hash power out of any crypto, dwarfing anything out there. There's only 21 million. It's got some of the greatest developers working on it, to name just a handful of reasons why you should buy Bitcoin. It can't be manipulated. It is immutable. It is uncensorable. It crosses borders to anywhere you want to send it in a heartbeat. There's nothing can do that. And if Bitcoin fails, in my opinion, it's over, people. So we want Bitcoin to work. We want it to be the future of money. There isn't going to be another Bitcoin. If Bitcoin fails, it is done, in my opinion. What else did I find? Bitcoin Tina. Excellent. I think he was replying to another tweet. My big ask is for people of modest means to own just a little Bitcoin more if possible. Stop buying lottery tickets. Buy Bitcoin instead. Even just buy one lottery ticket and the rest Bitcoin will be up so much in 10 or 15 years that even a little will be huge. It is not just me saying it. This guy is outspoken. He knows his stuff. He's a financial whiz, in my opinion. I've listened to him several times on Bitcoin Meister's channel, and he doesn't pull his punches. Now, I'm not saying he's a god, a guru, or he knows everything. He could be wrong, but I don't think he is. So buy a little bit more Bitcoin where you can. Kyle Torpy, a central bank holding Bitcoin in their reserves sounds a lot less ridiculous today than it did 10 years ago. How much less ridiculous will it sound after another 10 years? Let's just think about that. Now, Rocky's not in the house, so I'm going to say something I'm going to get rid of that. Well, Zaza, sorry, I had to show your tweet because it was blocked and Rocky was the moderator in the chat and he's not with us at the moment. So think about this. 10 years ago, could you have conceived that you would have a bank on your phone, that in 2 or 3 different clicks, you could send money to anyone in a heartbeat? No. And yet here we are. And the same is going to happen with Bitcoin. So you need that little bit of vision, people. Ivan on Tech. This guy has got tens of thousands of followers. So breaking. Bitcoin list. This is back to the German exchange again. Bitcoin listed on German exchange as an ETP. Last time this happened was in 2015 when BTC was launched as ETP in Sweden. This led to a 50x increase in the price of Bitcoin during the following 2 years. Germany is much bigger than Sweden. Now, nobody's saying it's going to replicate what happens in Sweden, but think of the Bitcoin that you've currently got, and if that 50x's in the next 2 years. Oh my Lord. Binance. 2020 is not a kind year. COVID-19, hospitals overrun, quarantine, shutdown of economy, quantitative easing, looting, police brutality. And we are not even halfway through the year yet. Soon, hyperinflation, fiat wealth for retail guys gets wiped. Bitcoin. It's all out there, people. You know, don't close your eyes to this. I don't know what the heck happened to that tweet, but that's gone. So we're not going to talk about that one. And the final tweet here from Dan Heddle, I believe you might say. People say that Bitcoin isn't innovating. Segwit, Schnorr, Lightning, Mars, Taproot, Graphroot, Sidechains, Liquid, RSK, DriveChain, Dandelion, Simplicity, P2EP, PayJoin, PSBT, CoinJoin. But it's not innovating. Don't listen to what the MSM or the mainstream media are saying, people. Bitcoin is innovating. The superb developers behind the scenes are working their butts off to make sure that innovation is taking place. And if only we could do a beam me up Scotty from Star Trek and shoot ourselves forward 10 years, I think we're all going to be completely blown away. So let's have a look at a quote. You and me, I love quotes. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan, press on, has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. Press on with your Bitcoin Satoshi stacking, people. That is all you need to be doing. And I'm telling you, you are going to be in a financial position in maybe a decade or less that you never, ever dreamt was possible. And that is what I believe Bitcoin has to offer. Now, yes, maybe you're in it to change the world. Bitcoin will change the world over time. But I believe it will be 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now when even our grandchildren are getting old. But if you look back through the history of money, money does not change in one lifetime. It takes several generations to see money change. But in the meantime, with us still being in the speculative phase of Bitcoin, there is still an opportunity for every single one of us to put our families in a financial position where no one can take that wealth away. And equally, the depressions, whatever comes our way, we've got some element of protection against it. People, thanks for your support on the show. As always, I am Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, signing off for this show. I hope you got some value from it. I hope you will tweet it out. I hope, as I keep asking, you will bring 4 or 5 each of your friends or Bitcoin people over to the channel. Tell them to just come and check it out. That will help me swell my subscribers again. It also then helps the community to get more eyeballs on this video so that we can help one by one, 4 or 5 people by 4 or 5 people, help with that Bitcoin adoption. People, please like this, share it, subscribe to the channel, bash the bell button, share it out on Twitter. I'm going to put my social media links up afterwards. If you're new to the channel and you want to watch all of my videos since my first one in April 2018, you'll see the link come up in a second to my BitChute channel, where all of the videos, thank goodness, I saved them all after each show, have been uploaded to BitChute, and you can go right back to video number 1, start from the beginning, 3-minute videos, 8-minute videos, 20-minute videos, and you can really gain some knowledge without paying a penny to anyone for that knowledge. People, have a great day, great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Have a great weekend when it comes around. I will be back on Monday, as I always am, with my Bitcoin for Beginners show, or my UK Bitcoiner show, as I guess I will have to start calling it if I don't get my YouTube channel back. Have a great weekend, peeps. I'm Brian, UK Bitcoin Master, signing off for now. Catch you all on Monday. See ya.